do your assignment yesterday. So it was quite straightforward, isn't it? The project, the first part of the
Yes,
project.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
that's
sir.
nice. Okay, that's nice. So what we are going to do today is, we're going to do a little more, uh, slightly more, advanced. I wouldn't call an extension of yesterday's project. This is going to be a new project today, but we are going to use Cognito, AWS Amplify, and then deploy a full end-to-end web application which has all the aspects of data management, user management, right? I mean, users logging in using their using their email IDs and passwords, right? And then using API gateway, Lambda, DynamoDB, right? And using Amplify. Okay, Amplify will also give you a little more understanding of how to use Amplify, and also using Git, right? I don't know how many of you are familiar with GitHub. Have any of you used GitHub to?
Yeah, yeah. I have used it, sir, which is repository. Git,
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, who's that?
Jet, Jet 07.
Z07.
27.
Okay.
So this is 27.
Z027. Okay. All right. That's nice. Okay. So we're going to learn those today. Okay. So let me just come and I'll start. Let's get started with today. So I'm going to share my screen. It's again an getting started guide from AWS. They're pretty good, and you can use that to try out so many things. Okay, so this is the guide that we're going to follow today. Okay, where we're going to uh, deploy it. It'll take roughly about 2 hours to complete it, but that's okay. Let's take the time and complete it, and then you can do it probably in the rest of the day. Or if any of you would like to do it along with me, you can do it, or you can just wait. And anyways, this is being recorded, and you can go to your you have all day left with you to complete this. Okay, so the idea here is you'll create a simple serverless web application that enables users to request unicorn rides. What is unicorn? Right. Yeah, these days the term unicorn is very widely used, correct? Because startup companies get the unicorn status quite frequently these days, right? Unicorn, I mean, a unicorn is basically the horse ride, correct? That's called the unicorn ride. And but unicorn in the world of business is a company which is actually hitting 1 billion US dollar valuation is called unicorn. Okay. All right, so it's called Wild Rides Fleet. I mean, you will come across this Wild Rides quite frequently. I mean, as a sample, like if any of you have seen that pet store application in those days, right? I mean, not those days. I mean, it's there even pretty much today as well. Pet store is one sample application which is used for, to just explain the concepts and to give us a sample as to how applications needs to be built, right? Similarly, in AWS, you will come across this wild rides quite frequently, especially in the serverless architecture. So there are so many examples that you will come across for wild rides and serverless. So whenever you get wild rides, you come across wild rides, it means that it's a very comprehensive sample example blueprint of an architecture. Okay. All right. So we'll have a HTML based user interface and RESTful web service to submit the request and dispatch a nearby unicorn, right? So we're going to do that. It's going to make use of all these services: Lambda, API Gateway, DynamoDB, Cognito, and Amplify. Okay. Plus, apart from that, we're also going to use GitHub. And apart from GitHub, we're also going to use, uh, uh, you know, um, a Cloud9 editor. Okay. Cloud9. Okay, all right. So let's get started. I'm in module 1, static website hosting with continuous deployment, right? So what's continuous deployment? whenever you make changes, the code automatically gets deployed to your environment. Okay, that's called continuous deployment. Okay, this is the architecture where you're storing all your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, etc. in AWS Amplify. Again, AWS Amplify is a service which enables you to deploy your web applications and manage the lifecycle of your web applications. Okay, that's what AWS Amplify does. And authentication is done using Cognito. The dynamic calls over HTTP are going through API Gateway, Lambda, and eventually to DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a database. Okay, so let's get going. It's asking us to select a region. So I'm just going to go and select a region. Yeah, I'm just going to go and select a region. So my region is Mumbai region. Okay, so let me select the Mumbai region, and then follow the next step. Step 2 is you have two options to manage the source code for this module. You can either use Code Commit or GitHub. Yeah, we'll use Code Commit in this example. Code Commit is a service which is used to create a code repository. Like it's like a Git, private Git, but within your AWS account. Okay, so I'm just going to go use Code Commit. Okay, I'm just going to go create a repository. It's asking me to create a repository. It's called Wild Rights Site. I'll just give the name as it is, Wild Rights Site. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and create one. Okay, it's created. The code repository is created. So you see Wild Rights Site. This is the code repository. So now that repository is created, set up an IAM user with Git credentials in the IAM console. Follow these instructions. So you have to follow these instructions. Just open it in a new tab. Yeah, go here. So create Git credentials for HTTPS connections.
Hello.
ఏ సారం సాయి కృష్ణ
ఏమైంది రవి?
ఆ అబ్బాయి రాలేదేంటి Z110?
అదే చెప్పినా మెసేజ్ చేసిన అంటే వానికి వాడు ర్యాండమ్ అనుకున్నాడేమో, సో అప్డేట్ చేయాలి కదా అని అప్డేట్ చేసిన.
ఓ ఓకే ఓకే.
ఎందుకు ఏమైంది?
ఏం లేదు, వాడికి అదే ఏదో వచ్చిందన్నాడు కదా, బిల్ కట్ అయింది అన్నాడు, ఏదో పైసలు కట్ అయినాయి అంట AWS లో, అదే చూద్దామని
ఓకే
వెయిట్ చేయమన్నాను.
ఓకే, నేను మెసేజ్ చేస్తాను మళ్ళీ.
You will see HTTPS Git credentials. You will see this. Okay. Sorry, for Code Commit. So this one. Yeah, HTTPS Git credentials for AWS Code Commit. Okay. So just generate the credentials. Yeah, and download it and keep it handy. So download it and keep it handy. I'm just going to go to keys, not keys, downloads. Okay, this is my Code Commit credentials. I'll just open it because I may be needing it. Okay, I'll just keep it handy. So let me just go back. Once that's done, download the credentials. So now you have created the credentials. Okay, so then what you do is you have to go and use that to clone your Git. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, back in the console, back in the Code Commit console, from the clone URL drop down, select clone HTTPS. Go back to Code Commit. Go to your site and say clone HTTPS. Yeah. So the moment you have, you'll have this endpoint available, which is Git Code Commit AP South1 Amazon AWS version 1 repos Wild Rights Site. Okay, that's done. From a terminal window, run git clone and the HTTPS URL of the repository. Right. So for this, you actually need a need a terminal window, right? It can be anything. It can be any Linux terminal window, right? It need not be specific to that. It can be any terminal window. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and set up a EC2 instance for that. Okay, just as my local development environment, but that's not, the EC2 instance is not going to host any website. Okay, because this is a pure serverless architecture. I don't need to provision any EC2 instances, but I'm just going to provision an EC2 instance so that I can complete this step, right? So that I can basically git clone, and I can basically clone my wild rights site using my git. Okay, let me just go launch an EC2 instance. I'm just launching it as a plain vanilla EC2 instance. Okay, let me just quickly fix a few things here. Okay, just fix that. Okay, just go enable it. Yes. Next, storage, net tags, add a tag name. My lab instance workstation. I'll say workstation. It's not a server, it's a workstation. Workstation. Next, configure security group. Select. Okay, just create a new one. I'll just say lab workstation. Launch. RPL AWS my lab keeper. Let me just check if I have it. Okay, I have it. Is my keeper. Okay, I have it. Okay, yeah, let me launch it. Okay, so let it come up. Let me open Putty. Okay, this is running, and I have a public IP address. Yeah, so let me just go here. Let me just copy the key as well. Yeah, let me just copy the key. RPL AWS my lab. Yeah, so I've just saved it. Let me convert this into a Putty gen format. Sorry, where did I save it? Yeah, here. RPL AWS, my key pair. Okay. Just going to save private key. Okay. C2 user at the rate. Ayla, it's connected. Okay, all right, so it's connected. So let me just come back and continue the rest of the activities from here. Yeah, so now here you need Git actually as part of it. Let's see if Git is installed in this. I'm just going to do a sudo su yum update -y. Let me first do that as the very first thing. Okay, there's nothing there. Cool. Yum install Git. Let me first install Git client. Okay, it's installed. Okay, then what I do is, so then you just go ahead and run this. So this is your URL, correct? Git code commit US East 1, but this is not my URL. My URL is, you have to copy it from here, from the code commit. When you just went clone URL, okay, clone HTTPS. This is the URL. So just copy this, come back. Okay, so I'll just first create a directory here. Okay, mk. Okay, I think it should just go ahead and create it, or I'll just say wild rights. I'll just create one. cd wild rights. Paste it. Yeah, so this is my repository. Okay, so it's important. I mean, even if you take time to complete this lab, please do that because it's very useful. Okay, it's very useful, right? You have to you learn so many things like Git and things like that, right? As you know, as cloud engineers, as cloud developers, you need to understand these things, and at least if you do it once, you'll be able to answer these in the interviews. Okay, okay, you have to follow these steps. Just say git clone. Yeah, git clone on this. Just copy that and paste it here. Yeah, so it's going to ask you for username. The username is something that we downloaded from here, right? We went to the IAM and we downloaded that Git credentials, correct? So this is my Git credentials. I'll just go copy this. This is my username. Paste it. Password, it's asking for password. Just take this password, come back, right click. Okay, one second. I think probably I didn't do it properly. Username is the username. Paste it. Password. This is the password. Paste it.
Enter, sir.
No. I pasted it, but it's not working.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, let me try once again. Okay. Just going to get the password. Okay, let me get the password in a notepad here. Yeah, so this is the password. Yeah, okay, fine. So it's cloned. Okay, right now there's nothing here, but it's cloned. If you see, while write site have come, I had some issues copying that string from there to here. So while write site has been cloned here. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to that's done. So when we just do a so you can actually pull the code from another repository and then bring it here. Okay, so we've done that. So you appear to have cloned an empty repository, which is fine, fair enough. Now you need to populate the Git repository with the code. Okay, and you will get the code from this place. Okay, so this is the place from where you will get the code. It's like a public open source code. Anybody can use this code to complete this lab. So you can go to cd while write site and AWS S3 copy. Okay, you're just making an AWS S3 command because this is a public bucket, S3 bucket. While writes US East 1 web application, 1 static website. Website is a public S3 bucket. Anybody can access it. So you don't need any credentials for that. Okay. Okay, cd while write site and then paste it. Yeah. AWS S3 CP S3 while writes US East 1 / web application. One sec. Let me just check that. Okay, so you need actually the credentials, right? So okay, let's come back. You also set up your credentials for your RPL admin. I'm just going to stop screen sharing, add my RPL admin, and come back. EKIA. Okay, GX. Okay, this is the one that I need. Okay, I'm just going to come. AWS configure. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm done. Once again, I'm just going to share my screen back. Okay, let me ensure I close everything else. Okay, back here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, AWS S3 LS is working. So now let me just go back and execute the other command. Yeah. Okay, so it's actually cloned. It's actually downloaded the entire code for me from that other S3 bucket, the public S3 bucket. So this is our code. This is our open source code that we are going to use now to host our website. Okay, so then what you do is you have to commit this whole thing to the Git. So when you commit it to Git, so right now if you see, This is my code repository. It's empty right now, right? So there's nothing there here right now. It's all empty. So what I'm going to do is to basically go and commit, upload all the code that we just downloaded from this S3 bucket. This is S3 bucket from where we downloaded. This is the sample code. Okay, we are creating our own repository. Okay, so that it is version controlled, right? Code commit is a version control. So you get the source code, put it in code commit, you version control it, and you can keep making modifications to that at any point in time, right? Right now, if you see, your code commit is empty. There's nothing here. But what we have done now is we have downloaded the we have downloaded the code from the sample S3 bucket to my workstation. So from here, I have to upload this entire code to code commit repository, right? So how do you do that?
Sir, can we do this from Git Bash?
You can do it from anywhere. It's up to you. It is just a you can do it from your local also. If you have a local this thing where you can use it from your Git Bash, you can do it from there. Not a problem.
Okay, sir.
You don't need an EC2 instance for that. Okay, so now I've added the whole thing to Git, and then I'll say I'll commit it. Git commit, and then Git push. Right. For those who of you do not understand Git, please, practice Git. It's very simple. Okay, you can. It's a very commonly used. I mean, as a developer, you are expected to learn know Git, right? I mean, that's like the basic fundamental expectation that anybody would have. Okay, so this will help you understand that. So do this, and then you will try to understand, what you're trying to do, right? So don't just do it blindly. Okay, so if you see here, I'm just pushing it now. Okay, so now again you have to give the username and password, which is in this case my username is this guy. That's the username. Password, I'll just copy it from here because I have troubles. Just paste it. Yeah, so it's, if you see, it's pushed completely, right? So we executed 3 commands here. Okay, let's try and understand that very well. We added the entire local from the workstation from where we downloaded from the sample S3 bucket to the local. We added that entire thing to Git. After that, we created a new branch and we committed that branch. After that, we have pushed that entire code to Git. So now if you go to code commit is nothing but it's a Git service. It's a private Git service. Okay, if you have a public you have Git, right? I mean, this is nothing but a private Git service. That's it. Yeah, so if you see, the entire code that we downloaded from that S3 bucket is all published to is all committed to the Git. Okay, this is the master branch. Okay, and if you go to commits, you will see the commits. So it's the message that you gave, that new. You're just creating it new. Okay, the new is basically a comment. It's not the branch. It's the new is the comment, and master. It basically commits the whole thing to the master branch. And if you see, this is the master branch, the default branch, and you can branch and merge at a later point in time. Okay, when you convert this into a proper enterprise application, when we are taking it to production, you can do all sorts of activities with Git. Okay, so now that is done. So once this is done, enable website hosting with the AWS Amplify Console. Okay, so now let's log into Amplify Console. So just type Amplify. Okay, and then you'll see this page, right? So just say get started, and then say develop. Click on develop. Okay, if you'll see this page and click on develop. Select the repository provider used today and select next. Okay, then what you're doing is you're actually connecting the GitHub. You're connecting your code commit repository with your Amplify. So that way, whenever you push a new code to the code commit, it will automatically deploy. Amplify will take it and deploy your code automatically, right? So that's what it's going to do. Okay, so let's go here, create an. So what are they asking us to do? Get started under deploy with Amplify Console, right? Yeah. Okay, so just go ahead and click on this one. Give a name to your application. Okay, the steps are slightly different, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. You just create a new. Yeah, so just give a new this thing to your wild ride site. Just say wild rides. Confirm deployment. Yeah, it's just going to take some time. So just wait for this to come. I'm also going to point you to this. This will have a lot more information. I'll give you later. You'll see so many hands-on labs which you can do using your AWS account. Okay, it's still creating. So just wait for it to come back. In the meantime, let me just go to S3 bucket. Yeah, see, it's actually creating an S3 bucket for you to host your website. Okay, so it eventually deploys it in S3 only. Yesterday, what we did was we created the S3 bucket manually. We enabled static website hosting in that S3 bucket, right? And then we use that URL to access it. But Amplify, what it does is it basically simplifies that whole thing for you. Okay, you don't have to do all of that. Amplify takes care of doing it, and also Amplify makes it easier for you to deploy your application onto S3 and AWS. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so it's done. Your deployment is completed. Okay, so now you'll get a nice admin UI from where you can manage your deployments. Okay. Okay, so sorry, just ignore whatever we just did. I'm just going to delete this. Okay, so in fact, okay, let me delete this. So because I've by mistake I created a backend environment. It's not a backend environment; it's a front-end environment, right? So let me just delete this. It'll take a few minutes. Just ignore this. We're actually going to do it in a much more simpler way. So just stay with me, please. Let it clean up. Okay, so that's gone. So once you're here, just go to all apps, click on a new app and select host web app, and then select AWS code commit. Okay, and then say continue. Okay, so that's what then add your code commit here, right? So add repository branch. So here select your wild right site, branches master, just click on next. Yeah, configure the build settings. This is the build settings. Okay, on the leave everything default as it is, so you don't have to do anything, just leave it as it is, and then say save and deploy. Yeah, just say save and deploy. So okay, what it means is, see, your code commit, right, has got a it has the settings coming from for Amplify, for setting up your Amplify site. So now what it is going to do is it's going to actually start creating your website for wild rides. So it's actually creating a website for wild rides. It's first uh, provisioning. See, this is the front end environment that we are creating, not the backend. You can also use Amplify to set up your backend environment, which means all your Lambda API gateway and stuff like that. But yeah, here if you see, it's actually we are setting up the front end environment. So let it complete, and once it gets completed, you will see your website is up and running. Static website is up and running. So let me just go refresh here. Yeah, so let it do that. I mean, you don't have to do anything, right? You don't have to spin off any EC2 instances for this step. Okay. Remember the previous step when we cloned the Git, so step 2 and 3, that's where you need some terminal where you can, or some workstation where you can clone your Git environment, Git repository, the code commit Git repository. Okay, except I mean, for the sake of that, and I could have actually done it from my Mac, but I wanted to show you, because if you eventually want to do it, you can provision an EC2 instance and do it, and then later on you can terminate that EC2 instance, or you can set up a complete Git tools on your laptop, on your development environment, and use that. Okay, that's the best practice. Okay, every time don't provision an EC2 instance. You can do it on your local laptop. I mean, even if you have Windows, that's okay. Even Windows supports Git. You have Git tools available for Windows. You can do that using Windows. So those of you who have Linux, Ubuntu, or CentOS, you can also follow that, use that. Okay, let's see if it's completed now. Okay, so now let's go back and see what they're asking us to do. Yeah, so it's completed. Once completed, click on the site image to launch your wild ride site, right? So if you see, this is my site. Okay, I just click this, it'll actually open up my website. Okay, it's actually hosted on, I mean, this is a very unique URL. It's under Amplify. Okay, and then it basically brings up the entire website for me. Okay, so everything is stored within Amplify. It does not create an S3 bucket for you. Okay, in your S3 thing, it rather it creates everything within the Amplify itself. That is the advantage of using Amplify, and you can do a lot of things with Amplify. Anyways, I don't want to go too deep on Amplify right now, but yeah, okay, so that's done. And you see the website, and also you will see how this works for multiple environments and things like that. Okay, so if you just go to general, you'll see all the settings. Okay, you're able to browse the website. Yeah, so if you click this, you will see how it actually deployed this environment. You can see the entire set of steps on the logs of how it deployed the environment, right? And what went through the build, test, and deploy. And if you see verify, see, another advantage of Amplify is it actually ensures that uh, how it will look like in different mobile resolutions, right? If you see in Google Pixel, it will look like this. In iPad Air, it will look like this. In iPhone, it will look like. In Samsung, it will look like this. Okay, that's so because it's again a web application. It's a responsive web application, right? It will basically ensure that you get a feel of how it will look like in multiple different browsers. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and modify our website. Yeah, modify the website. Okay. See, the AWS Amplify console will rebuild and redeploy the app when it detects changes to the connected repository. Make a change to the main page to test out this process. Okay, like as I said, it's a continuous build and continuous deployment. Okay, that's taken care. So now your source code is in Git. Okay, so what they're asking us to do is to in the index.html, they're asking us to modify the title so that it says wild rides of the future. Okay, and then save the file and commit it to uh, Git. So once you commit it to Git, it will automatically sense that there's a change that is made to the code, and then it will pick up the code, build the code, and redeploy the code, and then you will see that change reflecting in your website immediately. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back and look at index.html. I'm just going to go back to my okay. So I don't have an index.html. I have an index.html. Let me say nano index.html. Yeah, so this is my index.html, and here if you see title is wild rides. Rather, let's make it wild rides of the future.
ఏమో నాన్న ఏం చేస్తుందో ఈమె అన్న అంతకు మించి ఒక మాట అన్న చెప్పు అద్భుతం 2 రోజులు అవుతే అదే జరిగేది
Yeah, somebody has to go on mute, please. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, you save this file. Okay, I've just added wild rides -rides of the future. So if you see my website, it has only like wild rides here, right? Now we are changing the title to wild rides -ride of the future. You will see that shortly coming in. Okay, so let me save this. Okay, I've just saved it. Yeah, it is saved. So now let me just go ahead and commit it to git add index.html. Okay, you've modified index. Now you're adding it to the commit. So then just say commit, updated title, just give a comment to your commit. Your name and email configured automatically based on your blah 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 blah. Okay, fine. That's okay. That's fine. Okay, now just say git push. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna ask for username and password every time. So let me better save it there in the notepad. Okay, it's going to ask for username and password. Just give the username. Give the oops. Give the password. Control C, right click, enter. Yeah, so it's pushed. Okay, it's pushed. Now let me come back. If I go back to my code commit, and if I see commits, you will see the second commit come here, updated title. So it's done. So now if you go back to Amplify console, Amplify would have built this now. Okay. Yeah, so let's wait. It's actually going to build it. It's going to sense that something has changed, and it's going to just build it. Okay, so let's just go ahead and refresh it here. Okay, wait for the Amplify to come and build it. Yeah, just wait for some time. You'll see that the wild rights of the future would have got changed. Yeah, see, it's building it actually, because it figured out that there was a change to my source code, and it's doing a build once again automatically. I've not done anything. I've just clicked on this view latest build. So I just refreshed it. So it just came up. So every time you make a change to your source code and commit it to the code commit, Amplify would automatically take it and build it for you. So this is very good for continuous build and continuous deployment and continuous integration. Okay, CI, CD, and continuous build, DevOps. Okay, so let's just wait for this to finish. This is the second build that it's happening. This is the build 2. And if you see view build history, you'll see that one is running. Build 1 is successful. That was the first build. This is the second build. Yeah, it's done. So view build history. Yeah, it's done. It's successful. Okay. All right. So now let's go and refresh wild rights. Yeah, see, it has changed. Wild rights of the future. Okay, whatever code change that you have done is changed now. Okay. Okay, so now let's move. Okay, recap. What have we done? In this module, I've created a static website which will be the base for our wild rights business. AWS Amplify console makes it really easy to deploy static websites following a continuous integration and delivery model. It has deployments, it has capabilities for building more complicated JavaScript framework-based applications, and has features such as feature branch deployment, easy custom deployment setup, instant deployments, password protection, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's go to the next step. The next step, we're going to create a Cognito user pool. Okay, we are going to use Cognito, and we're going to build a Cognito user pool so that we can. So right now, if you see, my website doesn't have any authentication, right? I mean, I'm just able to log into my website without any authentication. Now we want to introduce an authentication to the website. When users visit your website, they first register a new account. For the purpose of this, we will only require them to provide an email address and password to register. However, you can configure Cognito to require additional attributes in your own applications. After users submit the registration, Cognito will send a confirmation email with verification code to confirm their users. User will return to the site. Yeah, I mean, so yeah. you can also confirm user accounts using Cognito console if we want to use fake email address for testing. That's okay, that's fine. After users have confirmed their account, they'll be able to log into the account using their username password. Okay, first thing that we're going to do, step one, is create an Amazon Cognito user pool. Okay, I'm going to go to Cognito. I'm going to go to Cognito. Yeah, manage user pools. I'm just going to delete this. This was just created. Oh, I don't need that. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I'm here. You can use Cognito user pools and sign up, or use Cognito identity pools. For here, we're going to use manage your user pools. Okay. Yes, I'm under manage my user pools, and then create a user pool. Just click on create a user pool. Give the user pool name as wild rights and say review defaults. Just click on this review defaults. So you will see a lot of things out here, such as require attributes as email, enable case insensitivity is as minimum password length is 8, uppercase, lowercase, and all that you can set. MFA is it's not enabled. Yeah, so just go ahead and create the pool with the default settings. Okay, so note the pool ID on the pool details page for the newly created pool, which is this is my pool ID. Okay, I'll just take a note of it. Then add an app to your user pool. Okay, so now you have created a user pool, which is basically a way where your users can get authenticated. So now you have to add an app to your user pool. So for that, go to the pool and go to app clients from the left side. Select an app, add an app client here, and then add an app client. Give the app name, client name, such as Wild Rights Web App. This is the name. Just give a name to that app client. These are all the settings. Leave all the settings as default. Uncheck the generate client secret option. Okay, uncheck this. Okay, this is not needed. This is not supported for web applications. Ours is a web application. Just uncheck this and then choose create app client. Choose create app client. Yes, you have created. So now note the app client ID for the newly created. So this is the app client ID. Good. So now let's go and update the website config. Okay, so now what we have to go do is we have to update the website config. So now you have to go back to your source code. Okay, and then open your this file like jsconfig.js. So for that, my source code is present here. This is where my source code is present. So I'm just going to go inside JS. So I have a folder called JS here. This one. Yeah, and then I will edit config.js, nano config.js. That's what they want us to do, right? Yeah, just open that and then fill these details here. Okay, here you have user pool ID, user pool client ID is something that you need to fill. It should look something like this. Okay, so now I'm just going to go to my user pool ID. This is my user pool ID. I just copy this, come back here. So here I'll just add the user pool ID. Okay, add it, just paste it, then go back, go to the app clients, copy this app client ID, which is the app ID. Okay, this is a client, user pool client ID. Come here and then paste it. Yeah, and region is AP South 1. That's our region, AP South 1. Okay, that's our region. Okay, AP South 1. We are actually doing this lab in the AP South 1, which is now Mumbai region, right? So we're doing it there. Leave the rest as it is. Don't change anything. Once we have the API gateway invoke URL, we'll put the API gateway's URL here. Okay, just say Control X, save it. Okay, yeah, it's done. Now just follow the same steps of save the file, save the modify file, and push it to your Git repository to have it automatically deployed to Amplify Console. So just say git push. Username and password. Just give the username. Give the password. Okay, sorry, I think we have to add that, like what we did. I mean, those steps are not mentioned here, but yeah, you just have to add the previous ones. You have to first add the, if you want to do that, just go to the previous step, modify your site, and follow these steps. Add, commit, and push. Git add config.js. Yeah, it's added. Okay, so then come back and then say git commit. Just say updated config. Yeah, that's done. So now you can say git push. Yeah, give the username and password. So these three steps are important. Git add, commit, and push. Yeah, so it's pushed. All right, so once that is done, so let's go and yeah, so this is done. Update the website config is done. Now test your implementation. So once that is done, you can visit the /register.html. Okay, so right now it is still building, but let me just go and access /register.html. Okay, if you see there is no user pool configured because the code is still building, let the code get built and you will see that you'll be able to. Yeah, if you see it's running, so let it complete. So once the build completes, once your config changes are applied, then you'll be able to refresh this page and you'll be able to register using Cognito, using your email ID, Just wait for a minute or two, let it complete, let the build complete. Yeah, so this is building. Let's just give it a minute. Let it deploy and verify the code. So then we just go back here, and then when we refresh this, you will see that you will see the registration page, which is coming from Cognito, where my it'll actually point my application to this Cognito, where I can register an account, register an user. Okay, this is done. Let me just go ahead and refresh this page. Yeah, see, now you get it. So now I can just go ahead and register here. So for that, I'll just go create a temp email. Yeah, I'll just use a disposable email. I don't want to use my email ID out here. Okay, I'll just copy this. I'll use this. Register password is p@ssw0rd ++. Yeah, it's registered. So you would get a email ID. Yeah, so you got a verification code, right, to this email. So just go open that verification code. Yeah, 594158. Just give the verification code here. But before that, I'll actually show you something. I'll go to Cognito. Let me just refresh this. Yeah, see, it's registered this user, but the account state is unconfirmed. Okay, so let me just go ahead and verify that user. Yeah, verification successful. Yeah, so now you go to, this is the email ID, right? Yeah, no, sorry, this is the email ID. Fianner. Yeah, and 123 plus plus. Sign in. Yeah, it's successfully authenticated. If you go back to Cognito user pool and refresh, the user is confirmed. Okay, this is the username. This is the email ID for the user, right? And you can manage these users through this. Okay, so yeah, so that's the advantage. Okay, so now let's go back. So we have set up the Cognito. We have pointed Cognito to our website. Okay, and just follow these steps. Okay, yeah, so you can see this. We've done all of this. So now after confirming the user, you can just go here or sign in. We have done the sign in here. Okay, and then it is actually taking me to /write.html automatically. And you should see a notification that the API is not configured. Yes, the API is not configured now. Okay, you will configure this in the module 3. Okay, this is my API key. We will configure this in the module 3. Okay. Okay, all right. So now let's go to module 3, which is building a serverless backend. Okay, I'm in module 3. So in this module, what we are going to do is we are going to build a Lambda function in DynamoDB. And then subsequently in module 4, we're going to interface it with the API gateway. Okay, let's go. Step 1, let's create a DynamoDB table. Okay, I'm just going to go to DynamoDB. I open it on a new tab. Yes, I'm here. I'll just create, delete all of these. I don't need any of these. Yeah, I'll also delete my hello world database or leave it, let it be there. Okay. Use the Amazon DB console to create a new DynamoDB table. Call your table rides and give it a partition ID, ride ID. Okay, I'm just going to create a new table called rides. Okay, it's still not refreshing. Okay, rides, then give ride ID as the partition key and string, and use all default settings and just create the DynamoDB table. Yeah, it's just going to create the DynamoDB table. After this, you need to note the ARN for the DynamoDB. The next step, right? So capture the ARN from here, copy it, come back. Okay, create an IAM role for your Lambda function. Okay, so just go to IAM. Yeah, you're in IAM. So every Lambda function has an IAM role associated with it. This role defines what other AWS services. For this purpose of the workshop, you will need to create an IAM role that grants your Lambda function permissions to write to CloudWatch logs and write items to the DynamoDB table. Okay, use the IAM role to create a new role. Just going to delete this. Okay, so go create a new role called and select Lambda as the use case and click on next permissions. Okay, and then attach AWS Lambda basic execution role. Lambda basic, yeah, execution role. Next review, give the role name as wild rights Lambda. Yeah, that's the role name. Just say go create role. Yeah, you've created the role. Go to the role and you can add more policies to this. Add an inline policy. Okay, which allows DynamoDB.put item. Okay, that's the thing that you want to do, right? Okay, add inline policy. Choose a service. DynamoDB. Okay, so before that, let me just delete the policy that I was created. Okay, open the role, go to policies, attach an inline policy, choose DynamoDB actions as put item is the action that you have to choose. Put item under resources section, add the specific ARN, add that ARN from the DynamoDB, copy this ARN, come back and then paste it here, paste it, then add it. Okay, you're only giving access to this table to put item, which is to write into that. Just say review policy. Yeah, DynamoDB, just give a name, give the name as DynamoDB write access, just give a name, create policy. Yeah, that's done. So if you see, your action is DynamoDB put item, ARN is this table. Okay, so that's done. So you're good. Okay, so now create a Lambda function for handling the request. We have created the role. So now just go to Lambda. Go to Lambda, select the Lambda functions. Okay, I'm just going to delete all my previous Lambda functions, which I used for testing. Okay, you're going to go and create a new Lambda function called request unicorn. So create a function, author from scratch, give the name as request unicorn, and yeah, and then say create a function. So you use node.js. Okay, we're using node.js, so let it be node.js. Okay, after that, what you can do is you can just get this code from this particular site. So just select that, you will get the code from here. Just copy this entire code. Okay, just create a function, just go and create a function. Use node.js, just create a function. And then once let the function get created, in the meantime, come back, replace the existing index.js with the contents of request unicorn. Click that and copy this entire code. Control C, Control A, Control C, come back, let the function get created. Yeah, request unicorn function is created. So now you have index.js. Okay, so select this entire code and paste it, replace it with what you found there. Okay, and then say deploy. It's deployed. Okay, come down, test your implementation. So now for that, you need to create a test request event. Just come here, configure new test events, give the name test request event, and copy this. This is the JSON, input JSON. Copy this, Control A, Control V, say create. So it's created. Now just go ahead and hit test. Yeah, it's successful, right? You've tested your Lambda function, it works fine. Now if you go to the DynamoDB and if you go to the items, okay, so it's working fine. Okay, all right, so now if you just come back on the main test request event, verify that it is successful. You should get status code 201. Is my Lambda. Yeah, so it's here. You're getting, oh sorry, you're getting a 500. Status code is 500. So okay, what is the issue? Request unicorn not authorized to perform DynamoDB on table writes. Okay, is my IAM have some issues with my IAM. Okay, wait. Is this correct? Okay, wait. DynamoDB put item. Okay, let me just check the ARN. Is it the right ARN? Okay, just copy it, come back here, edit the policy, action, ARN, rights. Okay, review policy, save changes. Okay, let me go back and again, once again, test it. Okay, let me troubleshoot this. Okay, I'll just go to the functions. Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't attach the IAM role to the function, right? So now if you go here, go to the permissions. Okay, I'm sorry. So now the problem here is, I have to, instead of this role, I have to, we pre-created the role, right? We pre-created the IAM role, so you have to use that role. Okay, so instead of this, I'll select wild rights Lambda. That's the role that I have. Save it. Okay, I'm not sure why that step was not there. Did I miss that step? Okay. I think I missed this step. See, I missed this step. Yeah, choose an existing role and use wild rights Lambda. Okay, that's the reason it wasn't working. Yeah, but it's working now. Let me just go ahead and test it. Yeah, you got 201 and you got this. So now if you go back to DynamoDB table, go to items, refresh the item, you should see some item populated here. Okay, perfect. So that's done. Test your implementation is done. So you should get something like this, which you got. Okay, so now let's go ahead and deploy the API gateway. Okay, so now we have done all of this. We are here. We have to create an API gateway. So let's come here, go to API gateway, select API gateway. Just go to API gateway. I'm just going to delete an existing API gateways that are there. Just delete it. Okay, all right. So now create a new API called Wild Rights API. Create API. Okay, just build REST API. Give the name as Wild Rights and make it edge optimized. Just create an API. Yeah, so API is created. Let's come back. Create a Cognito user pools authorizer for it. So now API gateway, your API should be accessed only by authorized users, correct? I mean, you can't allow everybody to come and access your application, correct? So if you see here, only those who are authenticated against Cognito should be able to access your APIs. Okay, others should not be able to access it, right? Because that is the gate for you, right? Because that's the gate which is allowing access to your information, right? Like this, right? I mean, this is like a ride share application like Uber or Ola, right? In Uber or Ola, only when you log into Uber or Ola, you will be able to access the data and you'll be request for a ride, correct? Until then, until that point in time, you'll not be able to request a ride, correct? So it's the same here out here. Okay, so what you're doing is you're associating the Cognito user pool to the API gateway. Okay, all right. So now for that, there's something called authorizer within API gateway. So if you go to the authorizers, right now there's no authorizer, but you can authorizers enable you to control access to your APIs using Amazon Cognito user pools or a Lambda function. Just go ahead and click on new authorizer, give a name, wild rights, and instead of Lambda, select Cognito out here and select your Cognito user pool, which is wild rights. Okay, select enter wild rights and enter authorization for the token source. Here, enter authorization. That is the authorization that you're giving. Okay, and then just say create. And just say create. Yeah, it's created. Okay, so now open a browser tab and go to /write.html. I mean, just refresh your page here. So if you see here, earlier you had a message saying this page is not functional because there's no API invoke URL configured in this, right? So now it's done. Now let's just go ahead and refresh it. Okay, one sec. Yeah, so if you see here, you see this authorization token. So this is the authorization token that you have. Okay, so copy the authorization token from the notification on the write.html. Copy this, Control C, come back to API gateway, right? And then click on test. Okay. Okay, click on test and paste the authorization token in the pop-up dialog. Just paste it here and then say test. Yeah, so you're getting a proper response code is 200, which is a success response code. And you're also seeing who's that user. This is that user which got authorized, authenticated against API gateway. Okay, that's done. Okay, got it. So now let's come back and create a new. We have tested the API, it works fine. So now let's come here and let's add a method to it. Okay, we have tested the authentication to the API, that works fine. So now we have to add a method to our API because right now our API is empty, right? It's not pointing to anything. So now we have to add a method to our API. Okay, on the left side, click on resources, actions, create resource, actions, create resource. Give the name, enter ride as the resource name, ride as the resource name, right? Select enable API gateway course for the resource. Yes, course is enabled for this. Create resource. Yeah, so once you create the resource, you will get the resource out there. So now with the newly created /resource selected, from the action, click on create method. We are creating a new method. Call that method post. Select post from the drop down and click the check mark. Yes, so it created a post. Select Lambda function. Okay, select Lambda function. Check the box for use Lambda proxy integration. Yes, use Lambda proxy integration. Check the box. And then select the region you're using for Lambda region is AP South 1. Okay, got it. And then in the Lambda function, just request unicorn. Select to your Lambda function and you go to request unicorn and see permissions. If you go to the permissions, so you will see that your API gateway is able to access your Lambda function. Okay, sounds good. Fair enough. I'm sorry, am I audible? I just got a
Audible, sir.
audible.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
all right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to just go ahead and test this out. Okay, so now Lambda is created, API gateway is also created. So now let's come back. Okay, and what we have to do is we also have to give authorization for the method to use our wild rights Cognito user pool. Okay, so for that, if you go to method request, just follow these steps. Choose on the method request card. Choose this. Click the pencil icon next to authorization, which is this pencil icon next to authorization. Click this. Select under Cognito user pool. Select wild rights, and then click on checkbox. That's done. Now deploy your API. Okay, the actions, select deploy API, deployment stage, new stage, just give prod production as the stage. Just say deploy. Yeah, it's deployed, and you got this invoke URL for the API gateway. Okay, so now note the invoke URL. So just copy this invoke URL. Okay, so next step is update the website configuration to point to the invoke URL. So this was the last step which was pending, right? So that's something that we have to do. So go back to config.js. Okay, so just say nano config.js. Yeah, so out here, if you see, the invoke URL is currently empty, right? So now whatever invoke URL that you copied, just paste it here. So if you see, it's empty currently, it's single quotes. So just paste it here. Yeah, you've pasted it here. This is the right invoke URL that you're going to use. Save it. Yes, that's done. So then come back, save the modified file. So do all of that. Okay, just follow the previous steps. Git add config.js. You've added it. Then git commit updated config invoke URL is the command that I'm giving. That's done. Okay, that's done. So now just do git push username and password. Yeah, so it's done. It's committed. So let's come back and go to our Amplify and the build. Click on view build history. In a while, you should see the new build coming up here. Build 4 would be coming up here. So let's just wait, because we have just pushed it, correct? So in a second, it should basically reflect here. It should start a new build. Yeah, so it's started the build. Build 4 is started. It's in the pending stage. Let's just wait for that to complete. In the meantime, let's go and validate the implementation. So now here, what you're doing is, okay, you should clear your browser cache before executing the following steps. Okay, that's the step that they're asking us to do. Let's do that. So what I'm going to do is, okay, if I clear all the cache, I'll get signed out. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's do it from the Windows box out there. Let the build complete. You see, this whole thing is automated. Yeah, it's building. Yeah, build is completed. Deploy. It's just going ahead and starting the deployment. Let it deploy. Yeah, deployment is complete. Let it verify. Okay, it's done. Okay, so now let's just come back and refresh this. Okay, if you refresh this, it's actually loading the page, correct? So this is like your Ola or Uber thing, right? So where you go and so okay, so now probably yeah. So now if you're redirected to the signing page, sign in and with the user you created of the previous model. After the map has loaded, click anywhere on the map to set a pickup location and click on unicorn request on. Click choose request unicorn. You should see a notification in the right sidebar that a unicorn is on its way, and then see a unicorn icon fly to your pickup location. Okay, let's do that and see whether it works. Okay, I'm somewhere in Seattle, so let me just expand this. Okay, I'm here, South Washington Street. So this is where I want my pickup to be done. Yeah, see? Yeah, Bucephalus, your golden unicorn is on his way. Bucephalus has arrived, giddy up. Okay, then it's another request, another unicorn. Yeah, Shadowfax, your unicorn is on his way. Shadowfax has arrived, giddy up. It's cool, right? Let's request another one. Yeah. Okay. So now if you go back to DynamoDB table and refresh your DynamoDB table, you'll see a lot of entries coming up here. See? Okay. This is my user. So now I can actually do one more thing. I can just go and use this to, I'll do it from a different browser. I'll register as one more user. Okay. I'll just come here, go to this. I will register one more user. It's a unicorn ride. It's not a Uber ride. It's a unicorn ride. Okay. Where you'll get a horse to pick you up. Okay. Just this is my website. So now if you go down, giddy up, just click, you can browse through this website. It's a very nice, interesting website. I'll just go back. You'll see so many things out here. Introducing wild rides, an innovative transportation service that helps people to get to that faster and hassle-free. Yeah, you'll get a horse. Request a unicorn, pick up price, ride off to success. I mean, it's a very simple thing, but okay. So it's and you get like submit request, enter your email address. I mean, these functionalities don't work, by the way. Okay, so it's just for fun. The functionality that works is you all this is being served as a serverless website, web application, right, with multiple pages, with multiple uh, it's a static website, plus it has the dynamic content. Yeah, see, if you see, these are all the unicorns. Shadow Fox, Rosinante. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you see, it has. I think if you want to build a website, you can just use this as a starting point to build your own website. Architecture can remain the same, right? Okay. Anyways, so it's done. So let me just go and go to Giddy Up. Click on Giddy Up, where you can register. I'm going to register. Okay. Let me use one more free email from this, maybe temp email. Just go here. I'm a human. Yes, I'm a human. Containing a truck. This has. This has a truck. Yeah, just next. Click on each image containing a truck. This has a truck. This has a truck. This has a truck. What else? Yeah, that's it. Oh, okay. Containing a train. This is a train. This is a train. This is a train. I don't know what is this. Oh my god. Train. This is a ship. This is a truck. Check. Oh gosh. Containing a train. This is a train. This is a train. This is a train. This is a train. What is this? Is this a train?
No, sir. No. Different. First one is the train.
First
And
one
third
is a
one is the
train.
train.
Third one is a train.
Middle one is the
This
train.
is a train. This is also a train.
Yeah, that is not train.
That's
Okay.
not a train. This is a train. This one.
Yes.
This one is a train.
Sir, fourth one is a train, sir. I mean, left side we can see a train.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I can see a train here. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a train. This is a car. This is a bike.
Below, I think this one also, first one.
Okay, airplane should be easy to figure out now. This is an airplane. This is an airplane. This is an airplane. This is an airplane. Okay. This time it should go through. Oh,
Oh my god.
this is an airplane. This is an airplane. This is an airplane. How about this? This is not an airplane, right? This is an airplane. This is an airplane. This is an airplane. How about this guy? Is this an airplane?
Yes, sir. It's an airplane.
It's an airplane. Okay. Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay. Yeah. Copy this. Get this email ID. p@ssw0rd123 ++ p@ssw0rd123 ++. Let's write. Yeah, so it's done. So I'll get an email here. Please get an email. Yes, I got an email here. Let me open this email. What is my verification code? 422529. Copy that. Come here. Email is. This is my email ID. Copy it. Come here. Give it. Verify. Yeah, verification successful. You will get redirected to the login page. Yeah, you are on the sign in page. Use this to and sign in. Yeah, so you've signed in. Let the page load. Yeah, so I'm actually, let me zoom in to see. Okay, this is actually a real map. Okay, by the way, it's not a fake map. It's a real map. Okay, so it actually takes the coordinates from okay, I'll just go and I'll just put somewhere here. Request a unicorn. Yeah. Bucephalus, your golden unicorn is on its way. It's arrived here. Again, one more and request unicorn. Yeah, it's arrived. Okay. So now let's go back to our DynamoDB table and refresh the table. Yeah, you will see few more. Yeah, you see this username has also come. GJIV, Fioner, GJIV. Okay, so that way. And if you go back to user pools, you will see users and groups. Yeah, just refresh this. You'll see a second user registered to your application. Okay. So yeah, so that's done. So that's it. So what we have learned is we have learned hosting a static website using AWS Amplify, right? And use a web browser and put all your content in AWS Amplify. Amplify can integrate with Code Commit. In Code Commit, you deploy your code, and whenever you make changes to the code, AWS Amplify will automatically sends the changes to the code, and it can start build and deploy your code. And then we created a Cognito user pool. Okay, registered a user. So then we created a Lambda function, DynamoDB, and tested the connectivity between Lambda function and DynamoDB by creating an IAM role, not user, sorry, role, right? And then last step, we created an API gateway, and we also added a authorizer to the API gateway so that only authorized, authenticated users will be access my API gateway, right? For example, if you get your API gateway's endpoint, copy, and then I'll just open a incognito tab where I'm not authenticated. If I just go ahead and hit and say write, I will get missing authentication token. Okay, I won't be able to access it because I'm not authorized. Whereas if I pass the authentication token, okay, where the authentication token is which has authorization as your that authentication token, if I'm able to pass it here in the header, then I'll get authenticated. Until then, I won't be able to get authenticated. Okay, so that way, my API is secure, right? I've not left my API insecure. My API is secure. Only authenticated users will be able to access my API gateway, use the Lambda function, access the DynamoDB, and request for a write, right? If I'm not an authenticated user, I won't be able to request for a write. Okay, we can test it out. If you want, I can just say sign out, go to account, sign out. Okay, then say refresh. Let me come back and copy the URL. /write.html. Okay, wait, let me clear the cache. Let me clear the browser cache so that it goes away. Where is this options? Options is here. Clear data. Clear. So it will just delete all the cookies and everything, cached web content. So now let me just hit on write. Yeah, see, it's actually taking me to the sign in page, right? If I just say write.html, it's taking me to the sign in page. Okay, so until I sign in, I won't be able to request a write. So let me sign in. Now this is going to go against Cognito, get me authenticated against Cognito, and request a unicorn. Yeah, so unicorn is arrived. I go back to DynamoDB and check my DynamoDB. It would have added more rows. Yeah, and if I go back to Cognito, yeah, the users are there, right? And also I can make my Cognito have a use Google or social sign-in, right? That's also possible. I mean, those are slightly advanced, right? So you can try that out later. But for the sake of this lab and this project, I think this is good enough. Okay, you've learned to build a complete end-to-end serverless web application. You can also access it from a mobile device, right? So let me actually access it from mobile device. Just a second. I have to just type this URL. Okay, let me type this URL. Master, one sec. Okay, I'm just going to access this URL from my mobile. Master dot D3 E U I G Q E Y B T X J5 dot amplify app dot com. Yeah, go. Yeah, so I'm able to see it. Oh, it works very good. I can also ping you this. If you access it from your mobile devices, I'll ping this to you. Yeah, I can access it from your mobile devices also. And then what you can do is you can just say slash write.html. Yeah, so you say write.html, it's going to ask you to sign in, right? So that's where you can use the sign in functionality to sign in. Okay, what is the username? FENANER 237237 at xhYPM.com. Password is p@SSW0RD123 plus. Yeah, sign in. Yeah, it's loading the map beautifully on my mobile device. Okay, I can actually place the pointer on some place and request a unicorn. Yeah, unicorn has arrived. I'll do it one more time. Yeah, unicorn has arrived. I go back to my DynamoDB table. You should see 2 more rows added. Yeah. 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 Okay, cool. So I think it works perfectly fine. So the last thing is clean up. Okay, you have to just go ahead and clean it up, terminate the resources. So what you have to terminate first is, let me delete my Amplify app. Let me just go to my Amplify app. This is my app. Select this app, actions, delete app. Say delete. Yeah, so let it delete it. Delete the Cognito user pool. Just go to the user pool, user pools, wild rights, delete pool, delete, that's done. Delete your serverless backend, delete your Lambda function, IAM role, DynamoDB, everything. Just let's first go delete my DynamoDB table, delete. Don't create a backup is not needed, just delete it. That's done. After that Lambda function, just go delete your Lambda function. Functions, request unicorn, actions, delete. That's done. Go to API gateway, APIs, wild rights, action, delete. That's done. After that IAM, yeah, just go to your IAM role, wild rights Lambda, select, delete role, delete. That's done. What else? Yeah, code commit. Just go select your code commit repository, delete your code commit repository also. Okay, you have to don't forget to delete your code commit repository. So just go select your code commit repository, delete repository, delete. Yeah, so it's deleted. Yeah, that's gone. Everything is gone. API gateway is gone. DynamoDB is gone. Okay, EC2 instance is something that I have to delete. Select instance state, terminate instance, terminate. It's gone. DynamoDB is gone. API gateway is gone. User pool is gone. Yeah. So user pool is gone. Yes. IAM roles are gone. Lambda functions are gone. Amplify is gone. That's it. What else is left out? Nothing else. Nothing on S3. Okay, because AWS Amplify manages the whole thing. Okay, so cleanup is done. So see, in less than 2 hours, we built a complete web application, serverless web application, fully functional web application, and we also deleted it. That's the power of cloud. Okay, in a best practice fashion, right? All of this was done using best practices. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to give this to you guys in the just this is the only link that I'm going to give you today. Okay, nothing else. Just follow this link. Host a static website. Okay, but before that, I mean, if you want to create your Git repository and all, you can use your local laptops for it. Okay, you don't have to create EC2 instances. Use your local laptop. Okay, but the place where you are actually populating the Git repository with S3, you have to use your IAM credentials, user access key and secret key. Okay, ensure that you have set up the access key and secret key, otherwise this step will fail. Okay, except that I think rest all are going to be pretty straightforward. I'm just going to only give you this, nothing else. Give you the file, project 3, very small file, but yeah, a lot of content in it. Okay, so just follow this, you should be good. Okay, so is it exciting, guys?
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
a lot of you felt this is exciting. Yeah, Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, after updating title, we need to do update config, or is there any other step in between?
After updating title, modify your site, right? In module 1, correct? The module 1.
Yes, sir. In module 1, after updated title, we have done push and git, right?
Yes, that's it. Add, commit, push.
Yes, sir.
These are the 3 steps that you need to do. Yes, just follow the steps. You should be good. But the only thing is that ensure that when you are in step 3, right? In step 3, when you are actually doing AWS S3 CP, right? From that particular Wildrides US East 1 web application. So that's a public S3 bucket. But even to access a public S3 bucket, you need to, if you have to make an API call, you need to authenticate that API call, right? So you need to have the AWS configure done, so that you can you add your access key and secret key. That's the only thing. I think if you already have set up a local environment which has access to your RPL admin access key secret key, you should be good. Rest all, just follow the steps step by step. You should not miss even a single step. In fact, if you observe, I missed a few steps and I had to troubleshoot, correct? So don't miss even a single step. As long as you follow the steps, you should be good. Okay. Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just make an attempt. I mean, it's going to be very exciting, right? And at the end of it, you will see, you will have a good sense of accomplishment as your local development environment, which is a browser based. Okay. And you have so many things, web application, data processing, DevOps, image processing. If you want to do an image processing, just click this image processing, this image processing. The serverless workshops.io, right? So it's basically an image processing example, right? You can actually take a photo of yourself, upload it, and do a validation. Yeah, the architecture of this is like this. It uses Amazon recognition, uses S3 and DynamoDB, and step functions. It does a facial detection, validation, and indexing. This is what it does. Okay, and if you go back, you'll see so many other things. Machine learning. If you want to do something on machine learning, you can just use this. Again, Wildrides is also used here. Yeah, so this is the architecture of machine learning example. Okay, and then if you want to do decouple microservices, if any of you are interested in microservices, you can just click on decouple microservices. Yeah, again it uses Wildrides. So Wildrides is going to be a very common thing that you will keep seeing, right? You can keep expanding your Wildrides example every time. Okay, so that's why it's important you do today, right? Yesterday I didn't want to introduce the Wildrides because it would have been a bit complex for you. Yesterday I gave you a very simple assignment where you created a simple hello world and added something to your DynamoDB through an API gateway. But today's is the actual thing, right? You need to understand, right? So this is even more complex, where you're using load balancers and your orchestration, coordination, and so many other things that you're using here. Event-driven architecture, right? You want to basically, whenever a object gets uploaded into an S3 bucket, you use this event-driven architecture to get a Lambda function to get triggered. Yeah, event bridge, event driven with Lambda. Yeah. Okay. So this is, so you just need to follow the steps. That's it, and learn. Okay. Don't simply blindly follow the steps. You need to understand the concept behind that and learn it. That's the most important thing, right? So there's so many such examples that are there, right? I mean, if just, that's why, keep following this page of AWS samples, AWS serverless workshops. You can get CDK examples here. And this is our AWS GitHub page. Okay, so I mean, if you go to AWS samples, that is also GitHub page, and github.com/AWS. This is also our AWS GitHub page. You'll see so many things here. Serverless, AWS CLI. The CLI source code is present here. CDK is present here. This is the main page. Okay. So under this, you have AWS workshops, serverless workshops. You have so many, right? In fact, there are about how many? 264 repositories present in this, which AWS developers and AWS teams keep updating this every now and then. Okay, I'm going to give you this AWS copy and click on serverless workshops. In fact, this itself has got so many repositories in it. AWS serverless blog. If you want to build a blog article and configurations, you can use this. Location and give it to you. Okay, somebody is asking for curriculum. Oh, you don't have the curriculum? The Word document curriculum? Okay, don't worry. I'm going to give you that curriculum document also. Okay, in fact, what I'll do is against that curriculum document, I can, week by week, I can give you, tips, and I can give you some relevant content and, links and materials that you can follow further. Okay, I can give you that. Okay, anyways, make a note of these links that I'm pasting in the chat. It will be quite useful. You will see some sample boilerplate code that you can use. Okay, so these are all quite things that you need to keep track of, right? And you need to follow the blogs, the AWS blog. Just go Google for AWS blog. At least make sure that you read at least 1 or 2 blog posts in a day. Okay, that's very, very important because there are so many new announcements that are being made. Reinvent. I don't know how many of you are really participating in the reinvent. Can you raise your hands? How many of you have been participating in the reinvent sessions in the last couple of days? Okay. So, I mean, those who of you not participating, I would request, please participate. It's very, very useful, right? So that's the way you stay close to the technology, right? I mean, the idea here is, since we are all in the tech field, I mean, we should do justice to what we are doing, right? So please stay close to the technology, right? So never move far away, right? I mean, the moment you distance yourself, I mean, you will see that your careers are taking south, careers are going south, and you will end up doing some peripheral things here and there, right? So don't let your career go in that direction. So take charge of your career and stay closer to the technology, learn new things, keep learning, right? So there's no end to it. I mean, what we have learned over the last 2 months is basically fundamentals plus intermediate, right? But there's still a lot more to learn, right? So there's advanced, which is still there, right? I mean, what you have learned over the last 2 months is something which is enormous, okay? Because usually these topics are learned and by people who are experienced, maybe a couple of years of experience, at least 1 year of experience in the IT industry, right? Where they have seen projects and they have worked on some projects and they know how things work, right? And they know how the SDLC process looks like. They know how things are done in the real world, right? And then after that, people go and learn these things. But I think all of you had an opportunity to learn it, even before you step into your careers and even before you step into your professional environment. Okay, so that way, I think all of you should be proud that you have learned something, and you'll be able to fare better than your peers, who are also stepping into the industry. Okay, and spread this. If you want to teach this to others, go ahead and please feel free to teach this to others. So there are two ways in which you can learn, right? One is you sit and study, of course you are learning. Second thing is, after you study, after you learn, you teach this to 5 more people, 10 more people. You catch hold of your friends and tell them, you're going to teach them AWS. Okay, and ignite the curiosity in them, right? And you can tell them, see, now I am so conversant with AWS that I'll be able to deploy a fully functional web application using AWS services in less than 2 hours, right? And you can build something, you can expose that, you can share that to others and ask them to browse through, right? Or you can also create a mobile application. Okay, you can also create a mobile application. The backend remains the same, right? API gateway, Cognito, Lambda, DynamoDB, right? Only the front end is going to change. Instead of using maybe HTML, you will code in a Android or iOS. Okay, that's the only thing that is going to change, but the backend is going to be completely the same, right? You can expose the same interface, same APIs to a web application, and the same APIs can be exposed to a mobile application also. Just the front end is going to change. So build a small application using API gateway, Lambda, DynamoDB, and build a small mobile app, share it with your friends, and tell them you have deployed it on AWS, and ask them to register using Cognito. Expose that and ask them to register. It'll be fun, right? And that way, you are building something, you're demonstrating your skills, and also at the same time, you're uh, you know uh, inducing the curiosity in your friends, and then you can actually start teaching them. Okay, so yeah, so that's something that which is very, very important, right? So yeah, so continue on the learning path, and I think by today we are pretty much done with it, and we have completed our curriculum over the last 2 months, right? And thanks to all of you who have patiently attended this curriculum over the last 2 months, right? And have learned a lot, right? And so as I said, learning should never stop here. Continue to do this learning, right? And continue to learn new things, right? And as I said earlier, we are only trying to teach you uh, how to learn, right? At the end of the day, technology is, if you sit, you can sit for, if you need to learn a new subject, just sit for 2-3 days, you can easily learn it. But it's most important and tough thing is you should know how to learn. So that's the thing that at least I believe we have imparted to you over the last 2 months, right? And I think I'm sure your mentors have also been very, very cooperative, and they have also reiterated the same point to you that you should learn, right? Never waste time, and never, even if you get half an hour free time, just pick up one topic or go through a blog article, learn that blog article, right? There's so much to learn, right? Like if you want to crack interviews, right? You have to actually learn the basics of DNS, basics of SSL, right? Basics of networking, right? How networking works, right? And we have touched upon all these topics over the last couple of months, but you have to enhance your knowledge to subsequent next levels of 200, 300, 400 levels. Okay, so from that perspective, keep up the learning, right? And you find time, just go through these topics and keep keep practicing them. That's the most important thing, right? If you just stop here, over the last 2 months, we have had uh, a marathon session, I would say, right? We have been learning so many things over the last 2 months, right? And we have practiced a lot. But at the same time, you have to continue the practice sessions going forward as well, because unless and until you practice, you won't be able to do justice to the things that you have learned, right? So keep practicing, and so that and once I'm sure all of you will get into decent jobs, and you'll all come out with flying colors, right? And once you get into the jobs, obviously it's going to be very, very different. You will work on something which is real time, one that will give you real time experience. So where you can actually apply all of these learning that you have learned. Okay, all of these things that you have learned, you can apply there, which will also help you grow professionally, right? Because imagine you being uh, you know, a stalwart in one of these areas, right? For example, like let's take serverless architecture, right? Maybe you'll be able to perform better than your peers, or you'll be able to perform better than your other colleagues. So that will put you in a better spot. That will put you in a better career path, and your growth will be quite interesting and quite commendable, right? So that way, I've seen so many people who have stopped learning and then they just stay behind in their careers, right? Don't do that. I mean, let's not do that. Okay, we have to learn from others' mistakes as well, right? So that way, never stop learning and continue to learn and continue to put these into practice as much as you learn, right? And use them in your day-to-day life, right? Do day-to-day professional environments, right? And try to apply these, and whenever you find an opportunity to learn, just learn. Okay. All right. So yeah, thank you so much for attending this. And as promised, I'll give you that booklet by early next week. I'll pass it through your mentors, and you should be able to make use of it in the long run. Yeah, and thank you, mentors. Thank you so much for being patient and giving a lot of time to the students, right? And that's really quite commendable, right? And yeah, and any doubts or anything, we can always you can reach out to mentors, and I'm available. If you need specific things and you need mock interviews or any clarification sessions, or before going to interviews, if you need a quick refresher on certain things, we can always plan some of those at a later point in time as well, right? But I think this has been a quite exciting and awesome journey for all of us.
Sir,
And
hello, sir.
yeah.
Yes, small note, just a while, sir. It is
Yep.
8:20.
Yep.
Sir, we're really thankful for your selfless service and insightful knowledge sharing. I'm really
Thank you.
admire the way you take us through the journey of learning and this all the time you spent with us. We learned a lot, sir. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. It's for me
Thank
also.
you so
It's
much.
so useful this session because I'm as working as a DevOps engineer, but in the operation field only. But in a way, we don't have this kind of complete cloud related ones. Just we are supporting only in this that project. But this could be for me. It's 100% help for me. Thanks a lot, sir, for this given opportunity to your teaching, but in part of your these sessions.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and knowledge. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
explained very neatly. It was like you were explaining for beginners. I watched so many videos on YouTube, and I didn't quite understand them, but you started from scratch. You made clear everything for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, my brother is working in Wipro, sir, as a DevOps engineer from 4 years. He don't know about the serverless architecture, sir. He just learned by watching your videos. You have given more content, sir, which is more than enough to the freshers. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Glad to know that.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Your speaking skills and your teaching skills are very nice, sir. I learned so many things. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Good to know.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
Hello. Sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for teaching this entire course patiently. And moreover, you have uh, given me this opportunity in this pandemic period. We have utilized all of this course. Thank you very much, sir.
Sure. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Good morning. This is Pranay Sai. Thank you very much, sir, for giving your time and your patience.
Sure. Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So maybe what we can do is, I mean, we could probably have a small quiz session tomorrow. Brothers Sai Krishna mentors. So
Yeah,
what's your opinion
sure,
on that,
Anna.
Ravi? Yeah.
Sure, definitely we can do it, Anna. I don't know if you time to do it, or if you can let us know, we can also do it. If you have time,
Yeah.
we can definitely do
Sure.
it.
Yeah. I mean, we can just do a small another join my quiz. Maybe I'll just prepare the questions, Ravi, and share it with you later.
Sure. Sure.
Again, it'll be a fun. We'll cover the whole thing right from start till the end, right? I mean,
Yeah.
students, don't worry. It's not going to be serious. It's going to be a fun activity, and we can do that sometime tomorrow. Maybe a half an hour quiz, not more than that. 30 minutes quiz. Maybe 25, 30 questions, or 45 minutes quiz. We can do that tomorrow sometime.
Yeah, definitely, Anna.
Okay,
That's
sir.
very, very
Okay, sir.
nice. Can definitely do it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sure. All right, Ravi, what is the program? What other than this, what is the program for tomorrow?
Yeah, so I have few announcements to make,
Sure.
apart from what I have talked earlier. So before that,
1 second, Ravi.
yeah.
Guys, you all can text in the Zoom chat. No, Prasanna sir will take your appreciations or compliments, and you guys are all sending it to me. So now you guys are share it to everyone so that Prasanna sir can see it. Ravi, you go ahead.
Okay.
Sir, keep eye on the chat.
Yeah. So what we can do is, I'm really glad that students are speaking out, and they're sharing their feelings. I mean, they're sharing their whatever their heartfelt feelings towards session, like which Prasanna sir has greatly delivered. So what you guys can do is you can write few lines and send it us to bhlrpl@gmail.com. We have this validatory event, right? So we can definitely, see if you can pick few of the your experiences, and we can share it during the validatory event. So if you guys can do that as well, it will be really great. And you can send it to bhlrpl@gmail.com, and we will definitely review those, and we will definitely try to share it with everyone on how you felt, and how you experienced sir's classes, and everything. That's one thing. And one other, yeah, before I continue the announcements, like I want to share my feelings towards all course that Prasanna sir has taken. Like, being myself, I'm already working, and I'm having some work experience. I learned a lot of things from sir's class personally. And especially in a lot of people do these kind of courses. A lot of people come forward and take the classes I've seen in the past. But sir is a very, very different, like, in terms of personality, because he has a lot of dedication, he has a lot of patience. I'll say, like a mother earth. He has a lot of patience in answering all of students questions, and the way he explains each and every topic with all the material content. And the best thing is, he's a real time, like I should say, the real time engineer, who has delivered the content. I'm saying, I can tell you honestly, from bottom of my heart, that he's the best trainer who can deliver such a great content, who is available in today's Amazon Web Services market. So I can tell it for sure. You cannot get any other anywhere else such a great content and such a great knowledge. So this is what I personally feel, and I can see that from all the students. Everyone are overwhelmed, and they're very much they're very happy. And this is a lifetime knowledge that everyone will utilize, and you use this knowledge in their future jobs and in their future life. So I once again thank you, sir. Thanks for your time. I know you're very busy with your AWS, like your work and everything. Every time I try to reach out to you, you're always on calls, in your office calls, but still you are always on time. You're not never even late, like few minutes late. Um, Sorry. Yeah. So you were never late. You are very punctual. I see a lot of students joining late every day, but you are always on time. So this is another great characteristic, like from we should all learn from you. So these are some of the things which I wanted to share. We are really glad, and we are really lucky to have you as trainer. So thank you very much, and we really feel this is Swami's blessing on all of us, that you have been teaching us all these days. So thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you, Ravi. Thanks. I mean, of course, I don't know whether I deserve whatever you said, but still, it's humbling, right? And thanks to Swami, and thanks to all of you. I mean, this RPL program, it's in fact I should say that I'm fortunate
Sir, tomorrow is
back
there a
up
session,
using
sir?
Echo. Yeah, so I should say that I'm actually fortunate to have got this association with Swami's grace. Right, so where I can use my little knowledge that I have to kind of impart for others' benefit. But again, the RPL team really needs the core RPL team needs big kudos and big round of applause. Because students, I think we are all fortunate, right? Where such an initiative is happening, and the mentors and the coordinating committee, and they've put in a lot of hard work. I mean, of course, I've been involved with this over the last 2 months only, but the core team had actually spent a lot of time even before to do the campaigning to come up with this whole idea of RPL, right? And take this to people and take this, spread the word and get the profiles, shortlist the profiles. And I know how tough it is to actually do an interview, because I keep doing this, of course, on a professional basis. But again, I know how tough and how much of time and effort is needed to uh, you know scrutinize the profiles and conduct the interviews and then get. So I think all of us are blessed, and all of us are fortunate enough to be part of this. And of course, all of you have come through a lot of other filters criteria, right? And then you have finally made it uh, nth day, right? So I think all of you should feel proud, and thank the entire coordinating committee, mentors, right? And they've put in a lot of hard work, and the office bearers of the Satsai Seva organization and BHEL. So should be so proud to say that you have attended such a program. I think some of you are also attending for the repeat years, right? So I think you feel that you should be part of this year over year, right? So yeah, sure.
Hello,
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Tomorrow is there any session, sir?
Uh,
So
yeah, Ravi sir will explain that.
yeah, Z069, we will announce you. Please have some patience. Prasanna sir is talking. So this is one of the other things, like whenever you join a job or in your personal life, when someone is talking, we should not have a cross talk. We should not talk over someone. So please have some patience. We'll definitely go over about tomorrow and Sunday. Okay? Thank you. Back in when we were initially having the conversation of starting this program, the situation was too bad. Like everyone, we all were locked up at homes. We are not able to step out of the houses, and the first thing was like, how are these graduates gonna get jobs now? Because all the institutes are closed, the companies are really doing bad. The pandemic has been severe. We are all stuck at home, so no one really know what to do and where this is going. Now the situation has been a lot better compared to back in May or June when we had this conversations of having this program. But yeah, it's all some who has uh, who has actually gave us these ideas or thoughts, and getting this rolled out. And in through on that in that process, like he gave us he made us get in touch with you, and it's like really, without you I don't see this program successful program. So then if I remember, let's say after 5 years or 10 years, I can see only, like, I can see you, if I have to remember about this program. And like, yeah, and the other important thing is the mentors have been really really great. Even in spite, like, our if you see, if you see most of our mentors, like, they're married, they're having kids, and still they are dedicating their time, energy, efforts, and everything, resources, and helping out students. And I see most of the mentors are on dot like 9 a.m. Every day. It's something it's not usual. Like, if we do it this in Mandir, uh, like in the past programs, we did not see such a great turnout, especially from our side. But yeah, now this time, all the mentors have been really great, and they are always on time by 9 o'clock. And even they have spent their times on the weekends for the sessions we had over the weekends. So yeah, I really want to really appreciate mentors for all their dedication and their time.
Yeah. Needless to say, I mean, mentors have been the life support of this entire thing.
Yeah, that's right. And without mentors, this program wouldn't have we couldn't have much focus or monitoring on the students. So it's all mentors who who help on students, and whatever the content you are teaching, they made sure it reached to them. And if they have any questions, they're always there as a brother, sister, for all the students. So that's a beauty of this organization. The main motto of this organization is love and service. So that's what uh, we try to share with everyone, and I hope all the students have felt that through these interactions. And yeah, I appreciate all mentors and everyone, like especially you, sir, for really standing out as an example for all everything. Thank you. So yeah, I have another important announcement. So tomorrow, like, sirs, tomorrow first we'll talk about tomorrow. So tomorrow, like sir said, we'll have a quick quiz. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'll give you time
Can I
for
speak?
questions. Yeah, I'll give you time for
Yeah.
questions. Let me complete a few things here. Maybe I'll take quick 5 minutes. So tomorrow, sir, like sir said, we'll have a quick quiz for some time, and then we'll have a few mock interviews um, for tomorrow. And coming to Sunday, we have. Let me share my screen. Okay, so we have decided on something very recently. So we are giving an opportunity to the students living in and around BHL nearby areas. They can actually physically attend the valedictory event at BHL Mandir. This month, this BHL Sri Satyasai Seva Samiti is located in BHL Township. This is near besides Sri Venkateshwara Swami Temple, Ramchandrapuram, Hyderabad, Telangana. And I will share the Google Map location for Mandir. And yeah, but there are few the important things that I want to share. I don't know how many of you are living in and around BHL, but yeah, if you can make it, you're always welcome for this valedictory event. But like I said, there are some important guidelines that you need to follow, and if you are okay to follow these guidelines, then you're most welcome. First thing is, please wear mask. Without mask, we may not allow you. Um, Okay, but yeah, please wear masks, and please maintain social distancing and maintain at least 5 to 6 feet from each other, so you all will be safe. And wash your hands thoroughly and avoid touching anything you see over there. And also use, if you have sanitizers, that's the best thing. Like, you can keep your hands clean. It's good for you, good for others, because we tend to touch our faces and everything, so we all will be safe. And if in case you're not feeling well, it's better you attend the event virtually, because this is both in virtual event as well as the physical on premises event. So it's okay if you're not able to attend, because I'm here, so I cannot even attend personally. So I will attend virtually. So likewise, some people may stay in out of Hyderabad or out of different state. So it's okay. You can attend the program virtually. We'll make sure you get the same experience. Like, you are in virtual, we have a video and everything coverage. So you don't need to worry about that. And there will be some kind of temperature check. And if we see something unusual with the body temperatures, we might not allow that person, just keeping the safety of others. And also, if someone is traveling, if you have any personal transport like bike or something, or car, or whatever, like if you have your personal transport, that's better you travel with that personal transport and avoid the public transport, because in public transport we have a lot of people we don't know, right? Who and what is what. And so it's better, you stay at home and attend the program virtually, and don't take risk, because just that we invited, you don't have to take a risk. But yeah, if you have any personal transport, yeah, why not? You're most welcome. And finally, it's act responsibly. We need to be responsible enough, and stay safe and healthy. That's our most important thing right now. So that's about it. You can come down by 9 a.m. On Sunday, and this is the address. If you have any questions on the address, you can definitely reach out to your mentors or me. I will definitely guide you to the location. And I've already shared the Google Maps location in the chat window. You can always reach out. And um, yeah, uh, let me know if you have any more questions on this. Like I said, you all can attend this on premises in BHL Mandir, but please keep these guidelines in mind and act responsibly. Thank you. And now we can take few questions. If you guys have any questions regarding tomorrow or Sunday's program.
Hi, Sayan. Actually, at the
Sir,
start
is
of the session, I
Srinivas
think you
there?
have shared the one PDA, PowerPoint, like sharing the details. So, could you please share that one?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you want me to talk about that again?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it's basically I'm asking some information from you guys. I've already shared this PPT with your mentors. They will share that PPT with you guys. I want you guys to fill it out and send it back to us by tomorrow. It's just that I'm collecting some details about you, your full name, email ID, contact number, location, qualification, year of graduation, skills, experience, and previous projects. Because I can. This will be helpful for me to refer your profiles
Mummy?
quickly. Okay, please mute yourself if someone is okay. Yeah, and yeah, this will give us. I can quickly go through your profiles. If the main purpose of collecting this data is, let's say, if we come across any future job openings, we can quickly review your skill set. If it definitely matches, if it matches your skill set, we can pick your profile. We can contact you on your phone number or email ID. We can share that information to you or refer you a resume to that job or something. So this will help us out quickly to have all the information regarding your profile. So that's the whole purpose of collecting this data. So I want you all to share this with all your respective mentors by tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Yeah. Any more questions about tomorrow or anything else?
Yeah, sir. Sir, this is Z038.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sir, is Sanna sir there?
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, Prasanna.
Yeah, I'm there. Please tell me.
Sir, what's the difference between Cloud9 and CloudFormation?
Sorry,
And
Cloud9.
I'm trying to host a serverless this data processing application.
Mm-hmm.
Data
Okay.
processing, like so that can be used for data science and all data analytics.
Okay. I'll give a very
Uh,
brief answer to this.
okay, sorry, let me. Will there be any charges for that, or else it is available in the free time?
Okay, so let me first answer your first question. What is the difference between
Yeah.
Cloud9 and CloudFormation, right? See, CloudFormation is basically a service that is used to automate anything that you do with AWS, right? So using CloudFormation, you can create a template and use that template to automate any deployment or anything for that matter, right? So CloudFormation it uses its own style of using YAML or JSON to represent, and it has its own language, and it has its own syntax, correct? It's a declarative style, and using that, you'll be able to automate things. Cloud9 is not like that. See, Cloud9 is like your development environment, right? Like, for example, you want to build an application or you want to uh, write some piece of code, right? You can use Cloud9. It's like your Eclipse or it's like your local Visual Studio or things like that, right? So it's basically a integrated development environment with which you can build applications and you can write your piece of code. Whereas CloudFormation is used for deployment. CloudFormation is used for representing and automating a lot of things in AWS. That's the first answer. Sorry, what was your second question? Which service that you said?
Real-time data streaming and processing.
Real-time data streaming and processing. Is it part of the SageMaker that you're talking about, or
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
the service?
No, actually, I am also seeing it for the first time.
Okay, now what is the service name? Kinesis? You're using Kinesis?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. See, for Kinesis, I think there is something available as part of the free tier, but you just have to verify that in the free tier page. Just go to AWS free tier information page and search for that service. If it is there if it is mentioned in that free tier service, in the free tier page, then it's available. Otherwise, it's not available. Otherwise, you will get charged as per the whatever pricing that you see in that product page. Okay.
And the service which you have told WildRide streamer service is for only deployment of basic web pages.
No, no. Wild Rides is just a fictitious name. That's it. Nothing else. It's just a sample web application.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It is whatever that we did, right? I mean, it's basically it's a sample of how you can build applications on AWS, how you can build a complete web application on AWS. But there are so many other examples. The GitHub page that I gave you, right? The samples that I gave you, that has got so many other examples that you can follow and implement. I mean, eventually you will get more knowledge. I mean, once you get a real-time experience, and maybe in about a couple of years, once you start seeing so many real-time projects, you will get this knowledge eventually. So right now, don't get overwhelmed. I mean, I'm just giving you so that you can understand those. Even if you don't understand, it's not a problem. But yeah, this wild rides is an example that we did to build a complete end-to-end web application on AWS and deploy them on AWS, serverless web application.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sir, my doubt is regarding yesterday's project, sir. While opening the API gateway, I'm getting a message like you're not authorized to do that, sir.
Are you using one of our accounts?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. API gateway is in fact whitelisted. I did check that. Maybe you want to sign out and sign in back and try it.
Yes, sir. I did it just 10 minutes back, sir. I'm getting the same message.
So okay. So what's your account ID?
RPL user 7, sir.
7. Okay. So
Even
okay, let me just
user
ask
8 is
others.
also. Yes, sir.
Okay, 8 is also having the same problem with API gateway.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A60 also.
You also have the same problem? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me check that. Okay, fine. Maybe you can try now. Okay, I just think I did a small mistake. So it should be working now. Just try now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank
Okay,
you,
it
sir.
should work now. Just sign out and sign in and log in. It should work. I just fixed it.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you, sir.
I think you should be able to complete that, including yesterday's. You should be able to complete it today. Okay, so take some time out and complete it between today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and also one more request. See if those who of you don't have your personal AWS accounts, see if you can create one account for yourself. And you can use the free tier and ensure that you don't cross the free tier. And those who of you got charged last month, please follow the instructions that were given last week, I think on Friday, right, or a couple of days back, to request the support to refund that. Support will happily refund it. No, there won't be any hesitations from the supports end to refund that money back to you. Okay, so you can do that. But the only thing is that, I mean, don't do that repeatedly, because if you every month over month you go and ask for a refund, maybe they may not encourage you, or they may not entertain that, because once in a while it's okay, where you can say that, I mean, you are still learning platform and you are new to the platform and you have by mistake overshot on the usage, so and then you got charged. They will pretty much write off all that expenses. Okay, but ensure that you don't exceed the free tier. That discipline is very much needed. Okay, so you should always, when you learn something, make use of the resources, but at the same time, let's not overuse those resources. Okay, because I think beyond once or twice, support will have a history of how many times you have requested for a refund, and they may not give the refund back, and you will have to end up paying that from your credit card. So it's very, very important. You can learn as much as you want, but use it within the free tier, because pretty much all the services that are there supports free tier. And in fact, the example that we did today, such a powerful one, it supports a free tier. Okay, so you can learn it as much as you want and use the free tier, and deprovision and clean up at the end of it, terminate all the resources at the end of it. It's very important. Okay, all right. So brother Ravi, Sai Krishna, anything else?
Yeah, I think we are good, brother.
Okay, so maybe they can go to the breakout rooms then and
yeah,
start their daily dose of assignments.
that's right, correct. So yeah, Sai Krishna, Shalendrana, you can go ahead and create the breakout rooms. But before that, I quickly want to ask students again if they have any question for tomorrow or Monday, sorry, Sunday. Like I said, you all can be present at Mandir, BHL Mandir on Sunday. Yeah, you have to keep these things in mind, and you're most welcome. We want you all to be there. So, and we are expecting you. Yeah, thanks.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
you got any questions? You can reach out to your mentors as always.
Brother Ravi,
Yeah.
Sairam. So, so I understand that it is open to the students who want to come physically can also come, whether they are in Hyderabad or not. It is. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, they can. Yeah, they can come if they are out of Hyderabad. Also, they can definitely join. But
Please
yeah,
give your confirmations because we need to plan. It is at your own risk. And also, please think what Brother Ravi said, avoid public transport. See, this is all for the safety. And you will also get an equally good virtual experience from where you are. But if you wish to be with us, please follow the guidelines and please be present. You're more than welcome. But one request, confirm to your mentors if you are coming. This is important for us to take our numbers. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Akka, for your inputs. So yeah, I think we are good now. Shalendrana, you can go ahead. Krishna, you can go ahead and create the breakout room.
It's already ready, Ravi. Yeah, we'll be opening up breakout rooms.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah. Okay. So
we are going to
all of
meet.
you just follow that instructions given there. So sorry, brother. One last thing. So all of you just follow those instructions. I mean, and replay this video. I mean, if you're stuck somewhere, right, and try to complete this by today, including the backlog that some of you might have had since yesterday. Try to complete it today. So tomorrow, what we can do is we'll just do a small quiz, and maybe if any of you are stuck, maybe I can take a few questions tomorrow, given the time that we have tomorrow, and sort out any issues that you might face in the serverless lab. Okay. All right. Sure. Sai Krishna, over to you. Sorry, you were saying something. I
Sure, no,
interrupted.
thanks. No, never mind. So I was just asking about tomorrow's thing. So we'll communicate through the channels, then the timing and stuff about the quiz or now.
Sure. Yeah, we can talk offline and communicate.
Okay. Guys, please do accept your breakout room request.
Okay. All right. So then, thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow and eventually on Sunday. Looking forward to the event. Okay. Thank you. Thanks all. Sairam.
Sarah.
Sai Krishna, Ravi, and mentors.
Sairam.
Sairam. Thank you. All of you have a good day. Sairam Shailu. Thank you. Sairam.
Shilo, no.
Sir, I'm sure.
Sir, can I get my breakout room section? Just network issue I learned out.
Z077?
Yes, sir.
You are in.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
నేను క్లోజ్ చేయాలా
Yeah, no.
రికార్డింగ్ అయితేనేమో క్లోజ్ చేసి